Well, we are currently in the throes of 16 days of activism for no violence against women and children. And we're talking about domestic abuse in particular. And with us in studio to chat about the signs and symptoms of domestic abuse and how to escape the cycle, we're joined by our resident relationship therapist, Dr. Eve. Doc, thank you again for stepping in. We know this is a very difficult subject to broach. Now, I mean, the statistics, they get worse the more you delve into them. It
and
really
every year
is shocking.
They get worse, Graham.
And you'd think with the amount of awareness around the campaign now, it really has been given prominence. But let's look at this particular statistic. They say 1 in 4 South African women has experienced physical violence, and almost 40% of South African men admit to hitting their partner. Why are South African men perpetrating this violence against women?
It's about intersections, as I mentioned earlier on. It isn't just one reason. So we look at who South African men are. They are disenfranchised in terms of employment. There's poverty, the economic reasons for it, so that if it impacts on self-esteem. Also, 1 in 5 South African man is violated before he turns 15 years old. He also is a witness to violence. So those men are at high risk of committing violence themselves. They don't have any role models on how to behave in a healthy relationship. So they grow up into adult people, and they then begin engaging. And there's a lot of conflict that men on men have with each other. It kind of becomes a language. And get into relationships with men and with women and find that they don't have any self-control to be able to manage their own frustration, their own sense of violence, or having been violated themselves. So it's the intersection of poverty, of not having enough resources, of frustration, of feeling disempowered in their world, of having low self-esteem, and being, as I say, I repeat, victims and witness to violence. Those are your highest risk factors for young men today.
That all slips into fill that vacuum.
Yeah.
Well, we've got another very brave caller on the line, Claudine. A very good morning. Thank you so much for joining the discussion. What is your question or comment? Go ahead.
My name is Claudine. I'm from Kensington.
Go ahead.
The thing is this, I'm 15 years in an abusive relationship, and I've totally had enough, and I don't know what to do anymore. It's verbally, sexually, and mentally.
Claudine, well, I think you are taking the first step. I'm going to hand you straight over to...
I agree. I can hear... Claudine, have you spoken to anybody else before this?
No, I've never spoken to anyone.
So you do need to reach out, and I thank you, as Graham says, for reaching out to us. It is you sitting, you're watching, and you're thinking, this is me, this is me. There is support that's available. You say that you're in Kensington, so there is an organisation called FAMSA, which is available in South Africa all over, and they offer counselling. There's also the trauma centre, there's also the rape centre. Reach out. Reach out to these people who can just put their arms around you. Don't expect to leave a relationship suddenly. You know that. You've been there for 15 years. We don't expect people just to leave overnight. It's not going to happen. But just start building support for yourself, getting your own sense of self, your own sense of self-esteem back. Learn skills. You know, we want women to become financially independent because that's one of the reasons that women stay, is because they feel like financially they're so dependent. But you want to get emotionally strong first, Claudine. Go and get support. Phone one of these organisations up, as I've mentioned, and talk to women, and they will be able to just give you the support without your partner knowing about it, because you may be at higher risk if he knows that you are getting support, which is why a lot of women don't leave. So don't expect to leave. Don't judge yourself, Claudine.
And Claudine, I'm just going to add to that the women that you'll find at these organisations have been through exactly what you are going through and know how to help you. As much as you feel alone right now, you are not alone. All right, Claudine, we're going to have to leave it there.
Okay. Okay, bye.
Make the call. Make the call.
Well, Claudine, our hearts are definitely with you, and hopefully a family member intuitively has picked up on that conversation, but we're going to continue this conversation with our doc after the break. We'll see you in a moment.